everything gets bigger and bigger and bigger. What are the biggest challenges of making a complete score that's gratifying?
Well, I think the main thing now, and you just said the key word, is bigger. Games are going to feature expandable content and expandable music. I'm very excited about a service called Direct Song, which is expanding a game called Guild Wars right now. A number of games in the future are going to be featuring this, where you can expand your game, but you can also expand the music along with the game. So imagine playing a game with 16 hours of music. It's possible you'll never hear the same piece of music twice.
There are so many Japanese composers who are here at play, and one of the reasons for that is that Japan was a premier country for game design for many years. But as time goes on, I hope there will be many other countries and many other composers. I'd like to see other composers from various backgrounds making new kinds of music. Maybe a new generation with different influences.
What do you think is the biggest challenge for you, and then also for the people putting on play, to make that music translate, but to do it in a glorified environment with everything that is taking place during the event?
You know, I don't think there's necessarily anything inherently problematic in that. It's just that there's certain things that can translate really nicely into a live setting. I mean, a lot of times I'll be arranging things for orchestra and I'll have to do it on electronics, and it can sound pretty good, but when you get the actual live instruments, it can be breathtaking. So that's really exciting. And then other little things like, you know, sometimes I might avoid writing for a trumpet section because you just, you know, can't as easily get that to sound as wonderful as a live trumpet section. So there are certain things you can do now. You know, it's like, wow, I can have trumpets in my piece, whereas I'll kind of shy away to write more toward what the strengths are of the electronics. So it's like, you know, electronic orchestration versus orchestration for the real thing.
Of course, as hardware advances, game music will sound better. Traditionally, for game composing, one person does everything, from composing the music to putting it in the game. But in the future, more people will be involved in the process, just like how they make movies. As the technology advances, more people will need to be involved, and the quality of the music will increase.
I think every game is different. Every game requires a completely different approach to writing, and at the end of the day, does the music help connect the game with the people that play the game? And that's my main goal.
I'm not sure I really think there's a giant difference between FPSs and RPGs. For me, the only kind of game that attracts me to write a score for is a game that's going to have a really deep, interesting story. Because we are basically all storytellers, and our music is telling some sort of a story. So when we can enhance the story, whether it's atmospheric or thematic, and through the gameplay and the environment of the game, then we're successful. I don't see myself probably ever being hired to score a sports title. I'm just probably not going to be the kind of person who wants to do that.
One of the reasons I think that game music is as popular as it is now is because composers haven't felt the pressure to make sales or the pressure of record companies. So game music composers have really been enjoying the process for the past 10 plus years. But as things change and companies start focusing on profits, then the process may start to shift.
I really believe live music probably is best. No matter what you do in the privacy of your own studio, it can be really, really great. And we're all control freaks, I think, as composers, so we like tweaking everything to the last little detail. But when you finally hear your music come alive with live musicians playing it, there's nothing better than that. And to be able to see families coming to concerts of game music and having, you know, mom and dad actually saying, wow, my kids want to see a concert of live music, let's all go. And then the parents actually hear maybe how actually deep and interesting the music is. It sort of brings everybody together, and I think now the folks and the grandparents can be casual gamers now because they are introduced to it through the music.